The Browns went into this game desperate for a rebound, but what unfolded was one of the ugliest quarterback performances the NFL has seen all year. Dillon Gabriel didn't just struggle, he completely unraveled. Every drive felt like déjà vu, missed reads, forced throws, and decision-making so baffling it made fans question how he ever earned the starting role to begin with. He wasn't just off target. He looked lost, like a rookie tossed into chaos with no direction. It wasn't one bad game. It was a collapse that perfectly encapsulated everything wrong with Cleveland's offense this season. The final score, 32-13, didn't even reflect how lopsided the contest truly was. The Patriots dominated every inch of the field, while the Browns stumbled through another disjointed performance. Gabriel's stat line was painful to look at. 21 completions on 35 attempts for just 156 yards. 2 late-game touchdowns that meant absolutely nothing. 2 brutal interceptions that killed any momentum the Browns tried to build. These weren't fluke turnovers. They were catastrophic mistakes that made fans question whether Gabriel even understood what he was seeing on the field. One of his interceptions was so poorly thrown that the linebacker didn't even need to move. Another found its way directly into the defender's hands like a gift-wrapped apology for showing up. On the other side of the field, New England's Drake May put on a clinic. Confident, poised, and sharp, everything Gabriel wasn't. May completed 75% of his passes, throwing for nearly 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He looked like a young quarterback coming into his own, while Gabriel looked like a rookie overwhelmed by the moment. The contrast was brutal. 2 young quarterbacks, 2 vastly different outcomes, and a crystal-clear reflection of Cleveland's dysfunction. Yet amid the chaos, one bright light remained. Myles Garrett, the unstoppable force on defense, delivered a career performance, recording 5 sacks in a single game. 5. It was the kind of defensive dominance that should have been enough to win any football game, but not this one. Because no matter how much Garrett did, the offense failed to capitalize. The Browns wasted another generational performance by their best player, which might be the most painful reality of all. After the loss, Kevin Stefanski stood at the podium for what could only be described as one of the most uncomfortable press conferences of his career. His tone said it all: the frustration, the exhaustion, the awareness that the walls are closing in. "We just didn't do anything good enough today," he began, his voice heavy, eyes downcast. "We'll look at everything during the bye week and figure out how to get this thing going." Those words, "look at everything," might sound like standard coach talk, but anyone who's followed this league long enough knows what that really means. It's a quiet admission of failure, a signal that major changes are on the horizon, and perhaps even a realization that time is running out. When pressed by reporters about what looking at everything truly meant, Stefanski tried to stay composed. "Every position," he said. "Everything I'm doing. It's frustrating where we are as a team." But then came the telling moment, the one that said more than any stat line ever could. With a young quarterback, there are going to be ups and downs. It was a weak defense, the kind of preemptive excuse you make when you know your player hasn't delivered, but you can't bring yourself to admit it outright. The problem, of course, is that there haven't been ups and downs, just downs. No growth, no spark, no sign of progress, just a consistent display of confusion and poor execution week after week. Then came the question everyone wanted answered. Would Stefanski consider making a quarterback change? The pause that followed was deafening. His response was short, hesitant, and brutally revealing. "I think the answer is yes." There it was, the first real crack in the armor. The first acknowledgement that maybe, just maybe, the Browns have been riding the wrong horse. He didn't say Gabriel was done, but he didn't need to. The silence said enough. The numbers make the decision even clearer. The Browns' offense managed only 213 total yards against a Patriots defense that isn't exactly elite. Just 68 rushing yards, an embarrassing 18% third down conversion rate, and a pitiful 1-for-3 success rate on fourth down attempts. The offense had time, Gabriel wasn't even pressured much, yet the results were disastrous. The Patriots controlled possession for nearly 37 minutes, leaving Cleveland's defense gasping for air while the offense failed to sustain drives. That's not just bad football. That's a system collapsing under its own stubbornness. And that's where Kevin Stefanski's leadership comes into question. His loyalty to Gabriel has crossed the line from strategic patience to reckless pride. Week after week, he's doubled down on a decision that clearly isn't working. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders, a young, gifted quarterback with undeniable talent, continues to sit on the bench, waiting for an opportunity that never comes. The entire fan base can see it. The analysts can see it. Even opposing coaches can see it. Everyone, it seems, except Stefanski, but that might finally be changing. His post-game demeanor suggested a man who knows he's out of options. When coaches start speaking in circles, repeating the same phrases about evaluating everything and needing to be better, it's usually the last chapter before the inevitable. Ownership is watching. The front office is losing patience. The locker room is fractured. And the fans, the most loyal, long-suffering fan base in football, are fed up. Stefanski's job security now depends on what happens next. The Browns are 2-6 and their playoff hopes are already evaporating. The upcoming bye week isn't just a break, it's a crossroads. If Stefanski uses it to finally make the tough decisions and give Shedeur Sanders the reins, there might still be a glimmer of redemption left. But if he stubbornly trots Gabriel back onto the field after everything that's happened, then the writing's on the wall. The experiment will officially be over, and so will his time in Cleveland, because this isn't just about one player anymore. It's about accountability. It's about whether the Browns can finally break the cycle of mediocrity that's haunted them for decades. Myles Garrett is in his prime. The defense is elite. The roster is strong enough to compete. The only missing piece is leadership, the kind that knows when to change course instead of clinging to ego. The truth is simple. Dillon Gabriel has had his shot. He's shown who he is. And if the Browns keep pretending otherwise, they'll waste another season, another talent, another opportunity to turn things around. The fans deserve better. The players deserve better. And if Stefanski can't deliver that, then someone else needs to. As Cleveland heads into the bye week, one decision looms larger than any other. Stick with Gabriel and risk losing the locker room for good, or give Shedeur Sanders the chance he's earned and inject life back into this team. Either way, this is the moment that will define Kevin Stefanski's career. The next move he makes could determine not only the Browns' future, but his own. So what do you think, Browns fans? Is it finally time to end the Dillon Gabriel experiment and hand the keys to Shedeur Sanders? Do you believe Kevin Stefanski can still save his job, or has the writing already been carved into the wall? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear every side of it. And if you've been following this saga as closely as we have, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. The Browns quarterback controversy is far from over, and trust me, the next chapter might just be the wildest one yet.